The Chargers have a hole at linebacker with training camp about to start. Angel City FC has been sold and the social justice warriors rejoice. And the Kings' goaltending situation isn't as dire as previously believed. Good morning. I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the faithful Angelenos morning report. So it is July 18th, 2024. If you're wondering, I'm still very much enjoying the concussion that I got on Tuesday night. Matter of fact, if I start blathering on a little bit too much like certain presidential candidates, please forgive me. It's still a lovely morning though. In breaking news, Bronny James sank his first three-pointer. It only took, what? 6-7 games for that to happen? But we can call it historic for Summer League. What the hell? Better late than never. What do you say we talk LA sports? And if you like being in the know about LA, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And by all means, comment. Hey, before we go through the news and notes, let's look at the scoreboard. Galaxy 3, Colorado 2. Ricky Puig scores the game winner. Gabriel Peck played one hell of a match with 2 assists, and this clinched at least a piece of first place in the MLS Western Con. Oh wait, more than just a piece? Why yes, it clinched more than just a piece of first place because Real Salt Lake and LAFC tied 1-1. Christian Oliveira scored for the black and gold, but it wasn't enough, and now both RSL and LAFC are looking up at your 5-time MLS Cup champs. LA Galaxy, first place. Shout out to all of my stalkers in the LAFC community. Meanwhile, today, no games involving LA teams. Still no Dodger baseball yet either. And let's get to the news. Training camp opens next week, but it's never too early to hear about bad news. It's never too early to discuss chargering. The coaches change. We are wondering if the player personnel injury front remains the same. Chargers' third-round pick, inside linebacker Junior Colson, was placed on the non-football injury list. Now, we want to be fair about this. We don't know if this is exactly going to reach the level of chargering, which has become a verb in the NFL. When players, for one particular franchise that wears powder blue, when players start dropping, it's craziness. We don't know how long he's out. We don't know where he's hurt. For all we know, it could be his feelings. But it would stand to reason that this could become very bad news. The Chargers rebuilt their inside linebacking core from scratch over the offseason. On the Chargers depth chart, Colson was already listed to be a starter as a rookie. And Colson already did sit out much of the offseason with an injury as it is. So are the Chargers already wondering if they have to rebuild their rebuild a little bit? We'll have to wait and see. But also with the Chargers camp, one of the odder position battles on a different topic you will see will come at third safety. Why it's odd is that you could imagine, you've all watched a lot of football just as I have, most teams play with just 2 safeties. When they go to nickel coverage, most teams just bring in a third cornerback. But the Chargers, in this case, might go for safety. With Derwin James on the field, the Chargers don't want to limit him to just staying in one spot. They want to think of Derwin James cheating up from safety. Maybe playing a quote-unquote big safety in nickel coverage. Maybe even sneaking all the way up to the line to become an edge rusher. We've talked about this. They tried doing it play-by-play under previous coach Brandon Staley. The current coaching staff doesn't want to switch him around that much play-by-play. They're thinking more in terms of game-by-game. In other words, Derwin might wind up being used for an entire game as an outside edge rusher. Sometimes he might be used in big nickel, but if it's going to be that, it's going to be for the entire game so that he's not overwhelmed. If that happens, moving James out of position, that would necessitate the third safety becoming important to fill James's role at the back of the defense. So, it is a three-way battle for you to keep an eye on during training camp if you're a Chargers fan. JT Woods, AJ Finley, and Tony Jefferson. Just letting y'all, giving y'all a heads up. Meanwhile, Disney's CEO, Bob Iger, and his wife, whose name is Willow, have become the controlling owners of Angel City FC, proving once again that once you get the mouse involved, wheels turn quickly. Now, I believe in God, but I'm not that stupid. I know on planet Earth, that mouse over at Disney, people believe in the mouse. It's a shame. I'd like more people to believe in God. But if people are going to believe in the mouse, what are you going to do? We don't believe this is more than 50% of the franchise that was bought because there are many other owners. There were tons of owners for Angel City FC. We do know that Natalie Portman and Jessica Chastain are still going to be part of the board of directors, so they clearly weren't bought out. We hear that the franchise is valued at $250 million, but the LA Times is reporting that Iger is going to pony up more than $100 million. Some for the ownership of the team. We also know Iger plans to invest an additional $50 million in the team. So it's kind of funny. The press is still leading with the wife, Willow Bay, who is a professor over at USC. If Iger, look, if you're a sports fan, if Iger simply cuts the checks and she's really good at running a soccer team, nobody's going to mind, right? Do you really care? It's not like the Guggenheim Group makes the decisions for the Dodgers. The Guggenheim Group bought the Dodgers and then gave the keys to Andrew Friedman. So on that level, nobody's going to mind. But let's not get it twisted. A USC professor is not dropping tens of millions of dollars into women's soccer. The Disney CEO did. He just needs his wife to be the face of the franchise because he oversees ESPN and there would be a conflict of interest. But to all the social justice warriors out there, this is a historic cultural moment because a lady is running the team. We know better. We totally know better. Meanwhile, the scribes were talking up how historic it was. To an extent, I guess they should. But they were writing these really goofy things in the process. ESPN wrote about how Angel City has, quote, enjoyed success. Where? I'm not saying that Angel City is the Chivas USA of women's soccer. But they've only been to the playoffs once in their history. You look at the standings right now in the NWSL, and they are out of the playoffs right now. They've only won 4 times this year, for Pete's sakes. And yes, they're very likely the most valuable women's professional sports team in the world. I acknowledge that. But if they were swimming in cash, there would not have been infighting amongst the owners that led to this sale in the first place. So I don't know how much success Angel City has actually enjoyed. I mean, this is one of the reasons I do the program. I'm a former scribe. I call the scribes out on their BS. Now, the deal itself is expected to close in 30 to 60 days. So in the grand scheme of things, this is a plus. Absolutely. Not just for Angel City, but for the league. Financial stability always helps. And I'm not trying to red pill the NWSL, but I think I speak for a lot of silent husbands out there when I say, don't forget who cut the check for your pet project, wifey. I'm not asking you to go make me a sandwich. Just be thankful for who cut the check. And that's the memo. The following take is something for you to tuck into your pocket like a lottery ticket. And you don't think about that lottery ticket until the numbers are drawn. That's what I want you to consider this to be. The Athletic listed top 20 NHL goalies of the future, goalies who are currently in the minors. The Kings have 2 of the top 20. Now, to be clear, nobody is claiming either one is going to be the next Jonathan Quick. How could you? They're in the minors, right? But a franchise like the Kings could damn sure use another Jonathan Quick right about now. You just don't find them that easy. Now, both of these guys are said to have flaws in their game, but they both definitely appear to have a future in the NHL. The one with the current higher rating, the higher ranking, is Eric Portillo, who had a promising first professional season with the Ontario Reign. 24 wins, a save percentage of .918. And if you look at the dude, he is a straight-up monster in the net. He is 6'6". Good luck trying to find holes in the net. The guy plays so deep in the net because he knows he doesn't have to come out. His body simply covers up that much of the net as it is. And he doesn't, because he's not a sure goalie, you don't have to see him scrambling back and forth. All he has to do is be calm and not suck, and the puck is just going to be, he's just going to absorb puck after puck. The other guy, Carter George, was just drafted. Now, he's also pretty big at 6'1". He may have been the reason that Canada won the gold medal in the recent U18 World Tournament. Scouts say he has terrific hands, both on the glove and blocker sides. He'll probably wind up being more consistent than Portillo. Portillo's been known to have pretty craptacular games. He's got to smooth that out. But either way, the Kings have something to work with in goal. And so you're asking, okay, when do we get to reap the rewards? And that's fair. If one of the Kings goalies get injured, you might wind up seeing Portillo come up. But the belief is that Portillo's time will be coming in 2025. As for George, maybe a couple of years later, and then the Kings will have a decision to make as to which one to keep. There are very few soccer reporters that I trust out there. I could count them on one hand. But one that I do trust claims that the Galaxy are super duper near a deal to bring Marco Reus in from the Bundesliga. He's a legend with Dortmund over in Germany, but Reus is out of contract, which to us Americans means free agent. And the 35-year-old attacking midfielder would join a pretty electrifying attack. The Galaxy put up 3 last night. They were shut out over the weekend, but they went into last night's game still as the 7th best offensive team in a 29-team league. Now, how Reus fits in with Major League Soccer's salary cap is anyone's guess. If he winds up being a so-called designated player, then the Galaxy would have to get rid of one of the 3 that they already have. You're limited to 3 designated players in Major League Soccer. And for those of you who don't follow MLS, a designated player is somebody that you can pretty much sign for a larger contract. They have a really confusing salary cap structure in MLS. The 3 DPs the Galaxy already have, they love. Ricky Puig, Joseph Paintsill, Gabriel Peck. Even if Reus is not a DP, you would figure the Galaxy should have to drop somebody to fit the guy financially and on the roster. Will Smith made nice with one of the Slime Diego Padres, Jurickson Profar. Because when it comes to LA, Slime Diego takes everything super personally. Profar got angry. Gavin Stone hit him with a pitch in April, claimed Stone threw at him on purpose, to which Smith had a great reply, quote, "I don't know why we'd throw at him. He's kind of irrelevant," unquote, which is a terrific line. Both of them, however, made the All-Star team, so that was kind of awkward. Profar, for the first time, made the All-Star team. So I guess in his apology, Will Smith actually welcomed him to relevancy. That's nice. I'm glad that we're smoothing things out with Slime Diego. Really. For the last couple of years, Basketball Scribes added Zach LaVine as a target for the Lakers. Oh, any day now, here comes a blockbuster. Zach LaVine comes back to LA. Well, they're not saying that now. They're saying the Clippers are going after him. Never fails. Never fails. You always got to link this random big name contract with LA. So no, I do not buy this hot Clippers rumor either. Because I challenge you to find a team more effed in the salary cap than the Clippers. You actually have to make an effort to do it. Once again, hard work pays. Former UCLA center Adam Bona may have been a second-round pick, but he is not going to the G League. The Philadelphia 76ers love what they've seen so far. They've signed him to a 4-year, $8 million deal. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Are you concerned about the Chargers not being totally settled at linebacker or defensive back going into training camp? How happy are you that there is some stability with Angel City FC? And if you enjoyed the content, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We're talking LA sports every single day here. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Cortel Queso production. Take care.